You're listening to Healthy Living with Eric Sue Podcast, episode 134.
Want more from Eric Sue? Watch him on Facebook Live every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Interact and ask some questions. Visit facebook.com/Eric W. Sue Trainer to be live with Eric. See you there.
Are you a first-time listener? Hey, welcome. My team and I hope you enjoy this episode. If you are a long-time listener, we thank you for your continued support. Do us a favor and share this podcast with all your friends because they deserve this amazing content as well. Okay, now on to the good stuff you all have been waiting for.
Health tips, wellness advice. No hype. Welcome to Healthy Living with Eric Sue, the show that inspires, motivates, and educates you towards your healthiest life. And now your host, Eric Sue.
Hey guys, Eric Sue here. Welcome to another episode of Healthy Living with Eric Sue. We have an outgoing and experienced personal trainer with us today. His name is Travis Cox. We will be talking about getting in shape like an athlete even if you are not. So without any delay, let me introduce you all to Travis. Travis, are you ready to make it happen?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Awesome. Travis graduated from Elmhurst College with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. He's coached high school baseball, and he started his own travel baseball team called Sweat Athletics. Now he owns Sweat Fit, a training facility for athletes and general population. Travis, that was just a little bit about who you are. Would you be able to share a little bit more and how you got started?
Yes, I can. How I got started with lifting weights and getting into fitness is started my freshman year of high school. In my first 2 years of high school, I played basketball and baseball, and I was looking for a way to improve my performance for the court and also for the diamond. And I was introduced to weightlifting by my dad, and once I started lifting weights my freshman year, I just kind of just a natural thing, just kind of fell in love with it. And even once I got out of high school and played ball in college and things like that, I wanted to do something in my career that I felt that I could enjoy and still be around athletes. And I felt that going into personal training would be the best option.
Very good. Excellent. And I was going to say, before we get into all this that you know about athletic training, what's one cool or unique fact about yourself?
One cool and unique fact with me, I don't know how unique it will be, but I still actually play baseball even though I'm done with college ball, and I also still coach as well. And I've never thought about coaching when I got out of college. I still want to play myself professionally. Then the opportunity kind of fell in my lap to coach, and I found myself being very passionate about it after that.
Excellent. Cool. Travis and I met a few weeks ago and had a great, awesome workout at his facility in Melrose Park, and we'll get into all his contact details later. I just want to get into this athletic training a little bit more, and so Travis, how would you describe it to people, and what specifically do you do with your athletes?
With my athletes, it's on the. It depends on what each athlete may be looking for, but the ones that I've trained so far, they are all looking to improve their agility and their speed and their quickness. So I offer a variety of things. So we do various things with the medicine balls. Have like the resistance bands put around their waist. We may do different variations of sprints. Also with the regular exercises that we do, I always try to add some kind of explosive movement to it.
And so when you get someone who's looking to improve their baseball game or their basketball game, do you do an assessment with them? What do you look for, and how do you help them?
Yeah, so like with the baseball players I will do an assessment at first, where we'll test their power. I'll test their speed, and what I'll do is I may have them do like a rotational, like medicine ball toss, and see how far they can go. Throw it down, down the hallway or whatever I'm using to measure it, and then every month or maybe every 2 months I'll retest that, and I'll go from the left side and the right side. And then as far as their speed, I'll test their 60-yard dash time, because in most tryouts and showcases that they may go to, that's one of the first things that the scouts are going to assess is their speed. They're going to use a 60-yard dash. So I use that to assess their speed as well. As far as their strength, I'll do like a 3-rep max squat to see how strong they may be with the legs. And then as far as the upper body, I'll do a bench press test to see if they max out that with that.
And so when you work with these clients, they're pretty much amateur, if you will, or do they have some experience and you're just tweaking here and little things here and there for them?
Right, yeah. Most of the guys I have are high school athletes, so they're just now getting introduced to weightlifting. So I like to try to also make sure I teach them the proper technique when they are working out, and just introduce them to more of the more explosive things, because in high school they're just learning how to just do different exercises instead of learning some of the smaller details. So I try to teach them that.
Super. With regards to your functional training style, how would you describe it to people?
I would describe it as, with everybody, obviously the core, which is like the abdomen and your hips, is kind of the core of everybody's movement of everything they do in life. So I try to base a lot of my exercises off of them having to engage their core and their hips to stay stable. And I think from there, once you get that strong, then you can span out to everything else. Everything you're doing is dysfunctional, whether it be somebody sitting in the car, walking up the stairs, carrying their grocery, bringing their luggage through the airport. The function, everything we're doing is functional, so you need to build that base in order to build on top of anything else. So that way, as people are getting older, they're not having as many aches and having as many pains and pulling muscles and things like that, and they're able to make their everyday activities easier.
Right, absolutely, and I'm a true believer in just being active and to be able to move the body so that we prevent any injuries down the road, and that we can maintain a healthy weight by staying active, obviously. So I believe in functional movement as well. Now, what kind of equipment?
Absolutely, I believe that also staying active, even as you're getting older, it keeps your joints from aching and getting tight and things like that. Like a lot of people, as they're getting older, they kind of lose their flexibility and they just kind of get very inactive as a result of that. But if they keep staying active, then their joints will stay loose and they'll stay lubricated and they'll be able to keep moving around. They'll want to keep moving around because they'll be pain-free.
Absolutely. So I may have some parents listening to this, and maybe even some athletes out there. I'm going to try to pick your brain a little bit here, Travis, and share with us a little bit. What would you say to someone who says, well, I just want to be able to be more agile and increase my speed? What would they work on? What would you tell them to work on? Even if you didn't work with them, what kind of advice would you give them?
Okay, well, off top, it depends on the kind of condition or shape they may be in. Is this somebody that may be they may not be as lean as your average athlete? I may tell them at first that they may need to try to lean out a little more with their body composition to where they're a little more muscular and lean. And off top, just them being weighing less, they'll be able to move faster with that. On top of that, I would also ask them what they do for their cardio training, whether it be a treadmill, if they run around a track. And I would probably tell them to actually start doing less of the endurance training and add more things like sprints and, burpees and things like that. And that's just like the basic stuff for somebody we're just having a general conversation. I would tell them to incorporate sprints because it's kind of more fast twitch exercises where they'll end up developing quickness from that.
Is there any specific distance sprints that you would suggest?
Well, yeah, I would say, even if it's just 20 or 30-yard sprints. And then maybe, I would say, for example, like, I would tell them to probably they don't have to do sprints for a long time. It doesn't take all, like, maybe do 10 or 12 sprints and you'll be fine. So I would tell them maybe to do a shorter distance first, so maybe 20, 30 yards, maybe do 2 or 3 sprints at that distance, then go to 30 or 40 yards and do 3 or 4 sprints at that distance, and then no longer than 50 yards, then we'll do 4 or 5 sprints at that distance as well. But I would tell them to take proper recovery in between each sprint, so I would at least take a minute in between each sprint so that way your body can recover as much as possible so that they can maximize that next sprint so you're not so that way they are not shortchanging themselves on maximizing the exercise.
What real quick here, could people expect from doing this athletic training with you in terms of like a month or so they would see some type of result, or a few weeks? What could they expect?
I would tell them to be patient. I would tell them anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks they should start seeing a difference and feeling a difference if they stay on the right track. So it's going to take a little effort on their end when they're not with me to stay on the right track. And it's just me, kind of a trust thing, because I can only see what they're doing when they're with me, and I can only tell them what to do when they're away from me, and it's going to be up to them to hold accountability on their end to make sure that they do that so we can get the best results.
Very good. And I totally agree. We can only do so much with them, and then the clients have a lot that they have to do on their own, and it really falls on their shoulders a little bit to take what they've learned and continue it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe that, to be honest with you, that's where the difference is made with the client, and that's on what they do when they're not, with the trainer, when they're away from them. Like, what are you doing on your own? Are you still going to the gym and working out? Most importantly, are you eating the right things? Because if they still eating bad, the only thing they'll do is be able to maintain their weight. They won't see any progress. They won't gain any weight, but they also won't lose any weight either. So they got to definitely eat the right stuff when they're sitting at the dinner table every night.
Absolutely. I totally agree on the nutrition side of things. We may get into that a little bit later. As far as the general population goes, Travis, what types of people do you see, and how do you help those guys?
Most of my clientele is usually middle-aged women, so I would say 35 to 55. So they're usually coming to me after they may have gained some unnecessary weight that they didn't want to gain, or they may have a joint ache or high blood pressure or something like that. That's usually the base of my clientele. I don't have a lot of younger clientele. If I do, they're usually the athletes.
And so what do you put them through if they want to do a little weight loss and they want to get in better shape? What would you put them through?
I mean, like what type of workout?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would start off probably, let's say if they want to do kind of whole body, I would probably put them through like a small circuit of like 3 or 4 exercises. So I'll incorporate an ab exercise. So, for example, I might tell them to do 12 knee tucks, laying on their back, bring the knees to the chest and bring the legs back out. The next exercise may be kettlebell swings, so something that's getting the whole body moving and kind of getting them, working on controlling their body with their core. The next exercise may be a lower body exercise, just a basic exercise like step-ups on a bench or on a stepping board. And then I may include an upper body exercise, for example, maybe bicep curls, or I may have them do, basic back rolls sitting on the bench.
And then when they do this, how often would they be doing this?
Depending on which, the shape of the client that I'm in, I may tell them to do each exercise 3 times. If they advanced and kind of in decent shape already, I may tell them to go around 4 times. So I tell them just to kind of keep them moving. I would set up 3 or 4 exercises. I'll tell them to do 1 set of 1 exercise. Then once you're done with that, move right to the next exercise or right to the next one. Once they've done 1 set of each exercise, I may give them a 45-second or maybe a 1-minute break in between, and then have them go through each round again. And I feel with setting it up that way, they, on top of them doing resistance training, they also getting some type of cardio training in as well.
And so the cardio would be a little different than what an athlete would be doing, or are you treating the general population people as if they are athletes as well?
Yes, I try to treat them as athletes as well, but I also understand at the same time that they are not athletes, so I will modify the intensity or the number of repetitions that they may do to make sure that I accommodate their needs without overworking them to where they can't make it through and it's, affecting their everyday life. I just want them to do, I try to make it to where they can handle it and get through everything complete without having to cut it short.
Very good. I experienced your workout, like I said earlier, a few weeks ago, and everything Travis is saying is absolutely true with regards to keep your body moving, the different workouts or activities in the workout, the core, the strength, and the cardio part. It was really fun. What would you say to someone who calls you up, Travis, and wants to experience what you offer? What could you tell someone when they visit? What would they experience?
They would experience a different type of workout from what they would experience going to your regular gym, where it's just a bunch of machines and weight racks laying around. You just kind of go machine to machine. I would tell them that it's constant activity and it's a different kind of workout that they would get from the gym. And at the same time, it'll still be fun as well. They can enjoy themselves and have fun doing it while they're kind of going through the rigors of resistance training. It may not feel fun, but it'll still make it to where they still think they're having fun. So it's kind of a mental thing.
Very good. And then just real quick here, when we're talking about fueling your body, the nutritional side of things, what advice do you have for your athletes and then maybe the general population, or are they pretty much the same with regards to fueling and nutrition?
Oh, the athlete would be a little different from the non-athlete. The non-athlete, they just want something basic where you don't have to take a lot of time out of their day to follow a certain regimen. They want something that's kind of basic and simple that they can follow and still be able to accomplish it while they're going through their busy work day or whatever they may be going through outside of work. So I would usually start them off with a basic detox diet the first couple weeks, and then from there I'll give them a basic diet plan or meal plan that's kind of something they can take with them while they're moving out and about and they can still follow. So it would be a basic kind of like a food list of things they need to have, and it's following a certain calorie count as well, so that way they under that calorie range where they can still lose weight while they're working out as opposed to maintaining or gaining. And if I have an athlete, usually they're trying to gain muscle so they can be stronger for their sport. And I would have them add a little more protein to their diet and kind of cut back on the fats. And that's pretty much it. I try to keep it as basic and simple for everybody as I can.
Yeah, that's usually the best solution, the best strategy, isn't it? To try not to overcomplicate things and keep it doable, right?
Right. I just modify. Like I said, with the non-athlete, I'll modify the carb intake and the fat intake since they're not as active every day as the regular athlete. Whereas opposed to the athlete, I'll try to modify their protein and their carb intake. That way they still kind of have energy to go through their rigorous practices or training on a day-to-day basis. That's really it.
Super, super. What is this shopping list that you mentioned? Do you have any items off the top of your head that you would suggest to people?
Absolutely. Just a few things I remember off the top of my head. I would have them they got to do a little label reading when they're shopping. So I would tell them to make sure that it's items that don't contain high fructose corn syrup. If it's something that has sugar, and try to make sure it's real sugar. Try to tell them to not try to stay away from the corn products. And if they do mess with something that's a corn product, make sure it's yellow corn and not white corn. I would also ask them to, if they are coffee drinkers, to try to somehow substitute the coffee for green tea instead. Because a lot of times people that drink coffee are just in the habit of having something hot that they put into their mouth in the morning to get them stimulated. So I suggest them to try green tea instead of coffee.
Anything else?
That's all I can think of right off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't have my list in front of me.
No worries, no worries. Those are great little pieces to add to the shopping list for sure, and tips for finding things that are going to be healthy for performance as well as overall health. So that's always good advice. Overall here, Travis, how would you summarize your philosophy about health and wellness?
My philosophy is pretty simple. It's just like anything else that you do in life. The efforts that you put towards it, those are the benefits that you are going to get in return. So if you kind of going to the gym, you kind of going through the motions and you're not really getting after, you just kind of, doing exercise. You may talk to somebody for 5 or 10 minutes, you just do another exercise. Those are the results you're going to get. You're going to probably wonder why you're not getting the results that you want, even though you feel you're going to the gym every day. But if you get the next person next to you that's, they doing a 3 sets or a 4 sets, whatever they may do, then they kind of time their rest period, then they jump into the next exercise and get right after that. Next thing you know, within that hour, they have done 4 or 5 exercises, and they sweating or they sore. They're going to see those results, and it shows. So I'm a big proponent of the effort that you put into your reaching your goals. That's the result that you're going to get. So for anybody out there, if you're not feeling that you're getting the result that you want to get, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not pushing yourself as much as you think you are, that you need to. So try to kick up the intensity of your workout a little bit more and see what happens.
Very good. I have to say that the workout that I did with you was pretty intense. Actually, very intense. Anyone can make it harder, right? And it was really, really good. So I appreciate that. Now, we have to get into this, which is your name of your company, Sweat Fit. And you spell sweat with 2 T's. Can you go into that a little bit with me?
Yes, I spell it with 2 T's, which is a little different from everybody else. But it's an acronym, and it stands for Specialists Working Effectively and Attentively to Transform. And I believe that what I'm doing is I'm transforming people through exercise, whether it be changing their bodies. With some people, it could, when they lose their weight, I'm changing their lives. So it's a transformation even in everyday life. If I have an athlete, I'm getting him ready for a sport. If he go out and have a great season, I then transformed his overall performance or his overall game. And just basically goes off of that. Like me being a trainer, I feel that I am a specialist in a way by providing a way to transform people's lives and their well-being. And even with the travel team that I have, Sweat Athletics for baseball, I feel I could be possibly transforming the kid's life by having to play baseball over the summer and perhaps getting him seen by a college scout or getting some exposure that way. Now, if a scout see what they see, they may ask him to come to their college or may offer him a scholarship opportunity. now I've transformed his life by helping him further his education as well.
Absolutely, and I think that's so impactful for the child and probably very rewarding for you. So I understand.
Absolutely.
We're close to the end here, Travis, and I just have the last few questions. And this one question my audience really likes to hear, and it is, what's 3 fitness tips you could share with them about health and wellness?
Tips that I can share with them. The first one, most importantly, 80% of what people do when they're trying to lose weight comes from the dinner table. So nutrition is very important of what you are putting in your body. Because if you're not eating the right things, it doesn't matter how hard you work out, you will not see your results. That's the number one and most important thing. Secondly, fitness, when you're trying to reach a certain goal, it takes a lot of discipline and commitment. So I would advise that people, if they have a very busy schedule, try to find a way to manage their time throughout the week where they can find 3 or 4 days to work out and get a good workout in. My third tip would be to make sure that before you go in the gym, you know what you're doing. You're not just going through the motions, just hopping from machine to machine, just doing something because you see it there. Try to have a workout written up or formatted so that once you go in there, you can go right to what you need to do. And make sure you log down the weight and however many sets and repetitions that you're doing. That way, as you progressing along, you know what weight to start at, and you know when you need to move up and increase or decrease your weight. So that way, you can stay consistent.
Super, super important advice. Obviously, the fueling, the food is super important, and I don't think what's the phrase? You can outtrain a diet. What's the phrase? I'm losing it. But nutrition is so important. That's for sure. And having a game plan when you get to the fitness club or whatever you're doing is so important too. I like that a lot.
Most importantly, time management, because the first thing, if somebody's schedule gets busy, something unexpected pops up, first thing they'll do is cut out the gym time or their workout time, and how they fall back off or go back to their old habits.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I hear that a lot, actually.
Right.
But, so how do people get a hold of you, Travis? And if you have any last piece of advice or suggestions for our audience?
Yes. My contact information, my phone number, my direct number is 708-528-1612. Also, my website is sweat.fit.com. You can also reach out to me on there. I'm also on social media as well. I have a Facebook page, which is Sweat Fit, and my direct page is Travis Cox. If you have trouble finding the business page, and you can, contact me through either one of those pages. And I'm also on Instagram, and the handle on there is Sweat Fit. And again, Sweat with 2 T's and Fit.
Very good, excellent, and we'll make sure to put all that in the show notes for you guys.
Also, too,
yep.
I'm sorry, my email address is sweatfit@gmail.com if you want to email me as well.
Very good, excellent. You are in Melrose Park as well, and do you work anywhere else?
Yes, I'm also have capabilities of coming to someone's home for in-home training as well, which I've previously done in the past. And somebody may have a facility closer to their house where they may want to rent it out and have me come and train them there. I can do that. So my main hub is in Melrose Park at the Melrose Park Civic Center. But I can also come to you as well if you want the convenience of that.
Excellent, excellent. We'll make sure we include all that info in the show notes. Any last piece of advice or suggestions, Travis?
Off top. Also, I could say this as well. This also goes back to where I train at as well. If a person can't meet up with me. I can also do online training as well, where I can, have them follow certain workouts and things like that without me seeing them. And we can still track their progress as well.
Super effort. Yeah, excellent. I appreciate that information. Travis is a fast 30. I appreciate your time. A lot of good information in this one, so I know my audience will enjoy that. I'll definitely see you around and maybe do another workout with you. So thank you so much for your time, Travis.
Oh, yeah, no, my pleasure, Eric. Anytime.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Healthy Living with Eric Sue. Head over to ericwsue.com for full recaps of every show in Eric's Health and Wellness blog. Your healthy living life is waiting for you, so stay active and be safe.